Hello, my beautiful Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and welcome to another session of Not Perfect Zen. It feels like it's been too long since I've done a video. I am very happy to feel well enough to do this today. Hope you'll enjoy it. My reminders are to breathe and no mistakes. Here's my contact information. Enjoy your emails if you want to send me an email to show me your tiles, or if you post on social media, please use @BBL_tangles. If you use the hashtag sign, the pound sign, I don't necessarily get a notice, but I do love to see your work. All right, today we're going to be using a Zentangle 3.5-inch gray tile. If you don't have that, it's fine. You can do this, practice on any paper. You can use any pen that you have, any pencils. I have a blue Micron 01. I have a indigo blue pastel pencil, and someone asked a question about that recently, and I get these from Zentangle, but you can get them from any art shop. These are General's pencils, and then I just use a regular tortillon or blending tool to blend that. I'll also be using a white charcoal and another blending tool just for the white. And you can see I do mark the color on these so that I can keep them separated. And this is just to keep the tip pointed out. Today, the pattern that I want to show you is called Fur Helix by Ludivine Schott, CZT. And there's some different ways to do it that I'll be showing you, and you saw it in the opening. I might use some of these. I'll show you on my example how I used them, but I may just do a simple tile with this. Okay, leave my options open. This is a very simple pattern. Not sure when it came out. I found it on Musterkel, and I just thought it was simple and pretty and something that I could handle right now. The last chemo did not leave me feeling well, and it's hard for me to do much after a chemo session, but I'm feeling well enough. I want to make a circle, and this is just a canning lid. I also have some of a template like this for circles. I think I got this off Amazon, so you could decide on your circles that way. I think I'll just go ahead and use this one. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. How about that? Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my blue pen. Of course, you can draw your circle. Just freehand it if you want to. All right, there we go. I like that. And the next thing I'm going to do is actually with just a simple graphite pencil. I want to divide this in half. And let me go ahead and show you real quick that you can do this however you want. This has 6 lines going through it. And then this one that I played around with, actually this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has 8. And this one has 6. And so you can do this however you want. I'm going to do it like the original. So I'm just going to, well, first I'll zoom in. And then she doesn't do this, but I like to go ahead and just divide it like this, and I'm just very lightly with my pencil. And again, like I said, you could divide this again if you wanted. And now back to my pen. And now that I know where the center is, I'm going to go ahead and put an orb in there. And then I'm going to fill that in, but I'm going to leave a dot. So. And the only pen I have in blue is an 01. So it's going to take me a while, but I'll try to get this done early. Actually, I do have, Sakura has an Identi-pen, okay, and it has a large tip and a smaller tip. And so it is the same color. So I'm going to go ahead and use this bigger tip to fill this in so you don't have to watch me for so long. Okay. Now back to my pen. And now I'm going to follow that initial line that we put and ink it in. So my dog is growling. You might have heard that. Okay, so the next step is to put these lines in. So it's the first part of our petal. It's going to curve down, come to this line, and curve in. Okay? So I'm going to try to make them all look about the same. Curve and come in. You can make these skinnier if you want to. I've seen them different ways. Mine are not going to be all exactly the same, and that is just fine. Okay? So now we're going to add this other line here. Slight curve, just like with the other side of the petal, as if you were going to come back down here. Okay, and then the next thing she does is we're going to put an aura here to here. Okay, on these first ones that I did not put that line all the way across. Okay, so that's open, so that's a little bit different. And same thing here. I did not ink in my circle the whole way around, but I did find when I looked at the step outs a little closer that she did have this inked all the way. So that's what I'm going to show you here. So let's put this the rest of the way. Oops, sorry, I bumped my camera. Okay, one more. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate these with just some simple lines going down. And you can put anything you want in these. You can put other patterns inside. When I was looking on Facebook, I saw one where they had done one similar to this, and I liked it, so. Just take your time. I like to pull my pen toward me. I also have a bad habit of not going all the way to the line. I have to think about it. So wait till I touch that line to pick my pen up instead of anticipating the next line and picking it up too early. So just take your time, breathe, relax your shoulders, relax your hand. So one of the things that I can do with MD Anderson is there is a Zoom call with a psychologist, and so she talks to our group. And today she was talking about scan and anxiety. So anxiety before having a CT scan. And I have one coming up August 4th. So, okay, before I go on, we've done that. The next thing I'm going to do is decorate this one. Okay, so for this, I'm going to put two lines, and then I'm going to put some little orbs inside, just for something different. Okay. And then I'm just going to put auras on each side. Then I'll finish my story. Okay, so getting a CT scan on August 4th, and that's always high anxiety because I'm afraid to find out the chemo's not working. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. And so it makes me anxious. And I had talked to her once before, the psychologist, and I happened to mention Zentangle. So during this Zoom call, she asked me to share my art method, and so that was really cool. That was unexpected. So I got to tell them that it is a very relaxing art method. None of them had heard of it. And I told them that I have a YouTube channel, but I don't, unless you write it down, you probably won't remember. But anyway, that was cool. Zentangle is definitely good for easing anxiety. Okay, so we're just going to do the same thing. And it looks like a whole lot of lines, kind of busy, but I think it'll be pretty when we finish. And I was trying to keep it kind of simple. Okay. So we just have two curved lines, like a little seed pod, and put our little orbs inside. Fill in that little extra space there. And then auras. This looks really good filled in completely like this, but didn't want to do that on this one. And I've seen these done little too. So like you could put little ones out here if you wanted to. All right, one more. So again, just a little seed shape. Add our orbs inside. So I always say in the beginning that I love getting emails, and one of my followers sent a photo of her cat. She said that whenever she turns on my videos, her cat comes running to check it out. It's so cool. Oops. No mistakes. All right. For those of you who say I do perfect work, I don't. These are not perfect, but I still have fun drawing them. And that's what I hope for you, that you just enjoy drawing. And this is a simple pattern. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to put fescue in here. How about that? And then another one. Okay, I think just 2 is good. So just following that shape. And I'm making it kind of big on the end because I'm going to come back and put a little white dot on there. So I probably should have said I'm also going to use a Gelly Roll pen. And if you don't have a white Gelly Roll, you could just make this kind of big and then leave a dot showing through like that. Okay, one more. And the fun comes with the shading. And of course, this is going to look good even if you're doing it in black and on a white tile. I love this blue on a gray tile. Okay, so these are all different sizes, and that's okay. All right, let's do the shading. So I'm going to start by putting, and again, this is indigo blue. Okay. And I'm going to put a fair amount on here. And then with this one that's marked for blue, I'm just going to start softening that and pulling it up. Okay, because I want it darker at the bottom. And I can come back and put more. But then I'm just going to lightly pull it up. Oops, sorry. So I'm not sure if I've mentioned that I have now lost all my hair because I had my sister buzz it off. And it's not been easy to get used to. I'm trying. I have a wig, but I don't like it. I'm also trying to get used to that. I think that's just normal, that when you're doing something totally new, it's hard to get used to it. And having no hair is definitely new to me. But it's my hope that that means that chemo is doing the same thing to cancer cells, getting rid of them. Okay, so then I'm just softening that, but I'm not bringing it all the way in. And then I'm just going to put a little bit on one side of those. Okay, so that's how we're going to shade all of these. Just coming up a little bit because I'm going to blend it and pull it up. I'm going to go ahead and put a line across here. Oh, I'm so sorry. I think I need to adjust the location of my camera. Okay, so just right along the edge of these. And then let's soften it. If you look through the older Zentangle videos on YouTube, they do have some where they've used the pastel pencils a lot. And if you go to tanglepatterns.com and look at the menu bar, there is a link up there that says Project Packs. And if you click on that, she has a list of all the project packs and photos to show what it was about. And that's a great way to find the older project packs. So I love the older ones. And the newer ones. There's a new project pack coming out next month that focuses on fragments. And that should be fun. Okay. Again, I'm leaving it dark at the bottom and just pulling that up softly. I don't speed up my videos, so you are welcome to use YouTube controls to make this faster. I know for me, I can't follow videos that are sped up too fast. And I know most of them are there to just give us an idea of how to do a pattern. But to me, Zentangle should be done slowly. And although I know that person was drawing slowly to begin with, it just makes me anxious. And I've got enough anxiety as it is right now. So anyway, my point is I don't speed up my videos. And I don't add music because that can be very distracting also. And I do love the pastel pencils. I don't use them often in the videos because I try to keep them pretty basic. but I wanted to do it this time. Again, just pull it up softly. Same thing here, just softly. And don't bring it all the way to the center. And then just with what's left on your tortilla, just a little bit on one side of those orbs. Okay? So now I'm going to get the charcoal pencil and my tortillon for white. And then I'm going to add some highlight here on these. Just a nice line down the center. And you can put it on one side of these little orbs too. Isn't that cool? Okay. Then I mentioned jelly roll. And I am going to put that there. And then I'm going to put a little dot of white on each of these little fescue. Okay. So I think I'm going to put just a little bit of pastel chalk around this center orb. And then just lightly bring that out. Just very softly blending that edge. Okay. What do you think? I don't know if I want to add anything else to it. I think I will just keep it simple. With this tortillon, I'm just going to soften those highlights a tiny bit. All right. Now we're going to add our chop. BBL. All right, and I would encourage you on the back to sign it and date it. And today is 7/24/25. Tomorrow is my daughter and my daughter-in-law's birthday. Isn't that cool? All right, there we go. Appreciate again. I appreciate you. I'm thankful to be here, to be able to teach you. I'm so grateful for all the emails and the wonderful support that I have received from so many people. I love it. I appreciate you guys. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, leave comments, because that helps that video be pushed by Zentangle so that other people can find it. And I love having new people find my channel. So let's zoom in. And here's this one. And this one. There we go. Thank you so much for being here again. I appreciate you all so very much. And I hope that you'll come back for next time. Hope that would be soon. Thank you. Bye.